Started as a puddle, but it ended as a flood. When the water ran heavy, it was thicker than the blood. And everything that we built is now covered in the mud, yeah. Two hearts, they became one. But now that is all done. What's up, world? My name is B.F.r.e.e, and welcome to my breakdown of Dead Roses.
Yeah.
Dead Roses, if you don't know, it's a song that I released, and it talks about the ending of my marriage, the ending of my relationship. And I remember the day that I wrote the song, and I was sitting in the kitchen of my ex, and it was a day that I was looking after the kids. She had to go work, and so she's like, can you just look after them at my house so they can, be ready for school in the morning and they don't have to go through the whole transition. And I sat at the table, and I remember just sitting at the table, and these words just started to surface. I'm sitting here in this chair wondering, how did we get here? All the fights, all the fussing, all the screaming, all the cussing. And these words just came out because I was sitting in what was now a post-divorce reality, because at the time, we were no longer together in the relationship. And I was sitting there and I was like, man, I'm at the scene of the crimes, but I'm also at the scene of the beginning of our relationship. She was still at the house that we were married in, and pictures were the same, all the furniture the same, and I just remember all the moments that we had. And the truth of the matter is, like most relationships, our relationship didn't start off bad. It didn't start off in pain. It started off obviously with some desire there. And I remember meeting her. It was, a fall afternoon, around August, September. And, kids were going back to school, and I went to a family fun day at her job. And I see this woman, and she's a beautiful young woman. We were in our 20s at the time, and I was attracted to her, and we just hit it off, started talking. We went on our first date. We went to the movies. We were scheduled to see Brown Sugar at the time, but Brown Sugar, it had sold out, so we went to go see 8 Mile. Now, of course, that was one of my favorites because it's Eminem and he's rapping, and that was our first date. We just started dating, and about a year and a half later, we got married in February 14th on Valentine's Day. And if you think about roses, right? Think about Valentine's Day. The rose is like the signature flower of that day. The rose represents love, passion. The rose represents that flower. It's like the king flower. It's like, the rose is on top, and all the other flowers fall and fail in comparison. But the rose also, it comes with thorns, right? And those thorns are there to protect the value of the flower. But in our relationship, we also brought thorns into the relationship that were just sticking each other. So it didn't always protect the value of the relationship. Sometimes those roses were sticking each other, and it was impossible to grab hold of the flower because the rose just kept sticking it. And we both came into the relationship with our guards up. But, we didn't understand the effects of that till years later and how things would play out and pan out for us. But we did. We started off in love, passion, and romance, and walks in the parks. And you never envision it, courtrooms. You don't envision fights. In the beginning, you're just envisioning flowers and rainbows. And we had our flowers and rainbows. And I just remember I was in love. I was full of bliss, right? And I saw her out. I sought her out. She was the one that I wanted to be with. I chose to be with her. But unfortunately, sometimes some good things come to an end. Sometimes you don't win. And for us, that was our beginning.